Just scoot away from the wall. Hi. So we're going to use just blocks and a blanket today. We're going to start on our backs. Need some space overhead. Hi, Dana. And you can start just flat on your back if it feels okay. Beginning by noticing what's above you. And just opening up your eyes and maybe taking a sigh, softening your eyes. And then also sensing what's below you. So feeling the floor below you. Maybe even sensing, what's below the floor. If it doesn't scare you too much, the basement. And then down into the ground, the earth. And then also sensing what's in front of your feet. So just that part. We're getting this idea of a 360-degree awareness of both your body and the space around your body. So in front of your feet and also at the top of your head. And then to your right side. And to your left side. And then all around. And then, bless you, and then going internally and noticing how you feel from the inside out. Both how your nervous system feels this morning or whatever time of day you're practicing if you're using the recording. And how your body feels physically and mentally, emotionally. And then noticing your breath. So feeling your breath come in, maybe bringing it in a little bit wider, going into more of an umbrella breath, feeling the rib cage expand three-dimensionally. And then a long exhale. You can blow out like you're blowing out through a straw just to get that long exhale, or you could go into using Ujjayi breathing. Notice when you get all of the air out, when you really exhale without any strain, of course, notice how much expansion you can get on your inhale. And then as you're ready, we're just going to take the arms up overhead, kind of on a diagonal, and your legs a little wider. So your arms are spreading out. It's like you're making a big star with your body. Good. And then just stretching through all four limbs here. And then you can soften. You can do that with the breath if you want. Just kind of inhale, stretch. And exhale, soften. Good. And then reach more through your right arm and your left leg. So just diagonally across. And soften. And then more through your left arm overhead and your right leg. And soften. And then try just the right side, right arm, right leg, getting longer. And soften. And then left arm, left leg. And soften. And then all four limbs again. Good. And now we're going to reach the left arm across toward the right arm. So it's like you're going to try to match hands. Let your head follow and just give yourself a little kick into that left heel so you roll onto your side. And then come back to the center. Yeah. Good. So you're back out in your diagonal start, and now take the right arm across. Now look at your hand and reach that hand toward the left one. And as you do that, try to keep your right leg straight if you can, just pushing into the heel a little bit, and then come back over. And then just try both arms again, just reaching across. Good, you guys, feeling that diagonal stretch, coming back. And then the other side, letting your breath flow here. And coming back. And now try the legs. So you're here on your back, your arms are still overhead. Can you take your left leg across? It'll have to cross further than the right. It doesn't match it like you do with the arms. And start to roll over as though you're going to roll over all the way to your belly. And then bring it back. So bring the leg back. And there's no exact way to do this. You're just kind of playing around with bringing your limbs across. And I'm actually enjoying leaving my arm over as I take my leg across, just getting that long diagonal stretch. And then let's come back to the center now and just notice for a moment. Follow your breath in and follow your breath out. Maybe take a sigh. And let's bend the knees, taking the feet wide. And just spread your arms out to the sides in a T and start to windshield wiper your knees side to side. So your knees are bent. And you're just windshield wipering, letting your breath flow. And now the next time that your knees go to the left, let's stay there. And almost like you're pulling a bow and arrow, you're going to bend the left arm and reach the right arm up on a diagonal, and you can look towards your right arm if you want. So it's like you're using that left elbow to press into the floor. Yeah. And you can think of like my fingertips are pointing toward my left ear as I do that, like a bow and arrow. Good. And then slowly let your knees come up through the center, and then the knees come down to the right, and you just switch the arms. So now your left arm is reaching up on a diagonal and your right arm is pressing into the floor. So your hand is off the floor reaching towards your ear. Like, you guys ever held a bow and arrow? Like this, you got it by your ear. Yeah, you guys should do that. It's fun. Yeah, and then just switch side to side and feel that. So the opposite arm is reaching overhead on a diagonal. So you've got this long reach side to side. Yeah, just play around with it. Notice where you get, there's no exact way to do it, right? You're just feeling, where do I get this opening across my body? And you can let your breath be flowing as you do that. And for me, I always feel, and this is just my own body, so it might be totally different in you, but I always feel a good stretch across the top of my hip as I do this. And then after your next one, just coming up to the center, and inhale, straighten out your legs and just stretch your arms up overhead. And as you exhale, let's bring the right knee in and give it a squeeze. Yeah, just hold it with your hands. And then inhale, tuck your chin and curl up towards your knee. And exhale, bring that shin forward or kick the left leg to sit up. Good. Inhale, crossing the right leg over the left when you get there. Good. And exhale, let's hug that right knee and twist around to the right. Good. Inhale, sitting up tall on your sit bones, letting your shoulder blades relax down your back. And then exhale, come back around to the front. Good. So you guys, it looks like you were twisting to the left, at least on this side of the room. You're twisting to the right. Yeah. So why don't you just do that again? Good. Let's inhale, sit up tall. Good. And then exhale, untwist. And we'll bring that knee back through the center and roll yourself slowly back down to the floor. Good. Give it a squeeze and then release it, straightening out the leg on the floor. And just pause for a moment. Notice your two legs. Take an umbrella breath. Good. And then inhale, stretching arms up and over your head, reaching through your heels. And exhale, let's bring the left knee in and give it a squeeze. And then inhale, tuck your chin and curl up towards your knee. And exhale, see if you can sit up by rocking forward. Good. And then inhale, so you're crossing the foot over if you can. If you can't do that, it's fine. Hugging the left knee. And then exhale, twisting to the left. Good. Inhale, just relaxing the shoulder blades down your back if you can. Good. And exhale, softening through your jaw. Nice. One more breath here. And then a long exhale, untwisting. You can uncross your foot and slowly roll down. Good. Bringing it all the way in and then releasing it down to the floor, straightening out the legs, following your breath in and out. And inhale, stretching arms overhead, reaching through your heels. And exhale, let's bring both knees in. Give them a squeeze. And an inhale, curling up towards your knees. And exhale, you can rock yourself up. We're going to come onto hands and knees, and let's pad the knees with your blanket. Spread your fingers wide, coming into your tabletop when you're ready. And as you cat and cow here, you can use your breath, inhaling to tilt up and exhaling to round. Let's first focus on noticing the right and left sides of your body. Kind of tracing it with your mind's eye as it moves. Good. And then the next time you tilt up, let's pause in neutral. Okay, and we're going to inhale, lift the right knee off the floor and bring it up to the right armpit or shoulder in that direction. Okay, and then exhale and just bring it behind you and diagonally to the floor over to the left, putting the toes on the floor and looking over your left shoulder. And then repeating. So inhale, you can bring it around, start to bend it, bring it up towards your right shoulder. And exhale, bringing it around and looking if you want. Good, just moving through this again. We're moving going to do a lot of these, they're called like frontal plane movements, where instead of going forward and back, we're going to the sides a little bit. Now, the next time that you get that leg over to the side on the floor, looking at it, let's pause there for a moment. Okay. Let's take a big inhale. Notice what you're doing with your shoulders and your neck. And a long exhale. Good. And inhale again. Now, as you exhale, you'll start to bring the leg back just to center. You can just let it trace the floor, and then you'll start to walk your hands to the left too. And now your leg is going to keep going behind you and eventually end up over to the right. So you guys will all be facing Joellen. Yeah, and your leg will be out toward the center of the room. Yeah, right here. That's it. You got it. And Joellen, you'll be this way, facing. Yeah. And if you can, just depends. So depending on your hip, just see how you are there on both your wrists and your hip. If you need to move your leg forward or back, right? And now can you cat and cow here a few times? Just notice how that feels. And we did this, I think we did a little bit of this movement last week here. The next time you tilt your tail up, let's pause there Find your breath, and on your exhale, can you really push your right foot into the floor so you turn on your inner thigh muscles? And now, can you keep your tail lifted up as you try to sit back toward your left heel and then come back up? Yeah, so you're just going to go up and down a few times. But the whole time, you guys, pressing the foot into the floor, pressing that right foot down strongly so that you're strengthening your inner thigh a little bit as you're doing this. Good. And then if you've got your toes flat on the floor, try tucking them under and doing it. So your not the ones to the right, but your left toes. Yeah, the ones behind you. You got it. Stretching that foot out. Good. Now the next time you come up, just pause, and as you exhale, and you start to stand up on your knee. And I'll come back so you guys can see me too in a moment. So you're just upright here, and try to get yourself steady. Make sure you got enough knee padding. Okay, can always add more. We're going to focus on this right leg. So if the hip is, the toes are pointing forward, we've got the hip kind of in a neutral position, right? And you can put your hands on your hips. Could you allow the toes to come up and then point toward the ceiling along with the knees? Now you've externally rotated the hip a bit, and then bring it back. Okay, and just go between these two positions. Keep breathing, right? There's no specific time you have to breathe, just keep breathing. Good. And then notice if you're moving your whole torso as you do this. Like, could you keep this still facing the side and just move the hip? Maybe, maybe not, right? Especially if you've got some arthritis in there. Yeah, so just noticing, don't force anything. You're just becoming aware of what your hip can do, okay? Good, you guys. And now let's put it back down. So putting the foot down, inhale, and then exhale. Can you take your left hand down to the floor on the left? The fingers can point wherever they feel best, rolling the upper arm bone back. Good. You could keep your hand on your hip, or you could reach it up toward the ceiling. Inhale. Now exhale, could you lift your right leg off the floor? Good. You can always put it back down, right? You can always have a hand on a block instead. Good. Now, can everybody draw your front ribs in and focus on your core engaged here? Good. Inhale here. Now exhale, slowly placing it back down on the floor. Some of you can try to lift up, bend the right knee, and sit over to the right. And I'm going to come show you in the back. I'm just showing the camera real quick, okay? And then you would fly back. Inhale, back to your yeah, okay. And I'm going to come over here. So you're going from here, right? From this kind of half moon, yeah, to what Dana's doing. But you can sit on that left heel, Dana, as you do that too, kind of like this. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Yeah, and you don't have to do all that either, okay? You can just do part of it. You can hold yourself in that half moon and practice coming out of it, right? So I'll show you guys again here. Yeah, that's it. You got it, Penny. So controlling this movement, going slowly, making sure you're not hurting your knees or your hip, right? Just feeling the movement. And then if you want to, you can also make it a little more explosive. So when you come from this knee thing, you could fly away, like inhale, exhale, inhale, right? So it can be like this big opening movement, right? So do what's right for your body here. One more. Good. And then we're going to end in the left hand down and the right leg down on the floor. Yeah, good. Inhale here. Good. Exhale. We're going to slowly start to bring that right arm down to the floor and turn so that you're facing the floor. I know you're facing the back of your mat. Just bring the right knee in and inhale. Lift your knees off the floor. Exhale, going into downward dog facing the back. Good. Let your neck hang. Move around however you want to. That's it. And just breathe here. And following your breath in Following your breath out. And checking in with both sides of your body. Good. And now let's slowly come down to your knees. Make sure your knees are padded. We're going to inhale, lift the left knee off the floor, bringing it toward the left shoulder, so that external movement. And then inhale, reaching it diagonally and back to the right, looking at it, and repeat. Okay. And as you're doing this, you can move your head to look towards your knee. But really allow yourself to explore all these movements. So you're all different and you all have different needs for your body on any given day, right? So how can you modify and adapt the practice for what you need? While also just being open, right? So trying different things as you all do. And the next time you diagonally come across, let's just stay there and breathe. Good. One more breath. And then slowly just start to bring the leg back to center, right? And then you start to walk your hands to the right. So you're doing like a quarter turn, and then you're letting your knee pivot and you're taking your left leg out to the side. So you guys on Julie's side of the room will be facing the front. You'll be facing me, just like Julie is right here. Okay, so you just shift yourself around. There you go. And so you got your left leg out to the side, and we're going to just cat and cow a few times. Good. Notice how your shoulders and neck and wrists feel. If you need to adapt, modify, you can adopt too. Adopt different things, different movements. Now, next time you tilt the tail up, let's pause and really press the leg strongly into the floor. Okay, so turn on the adductor muscles there. And then see if you can keep the tail up as you start to sit back toward the heel while still pressing the foot into the floor, and then rise back up. So you could exhale on the way down and inhale on the way up. Really exploring how this movement feels through the lower legs, knees, hips. And now the next time you rise up, we'll exhale to stand up on that knee, making sure you got enough padding on this side. Okay. You can take your hands to your hips if you'd like. My foot right now is facing forward, and then I'm going to see, could I bring it up, externally rotate it, and then bring it back down. I'm just noticing how this side feels. It's different than the first side. You're keeping your breath going. Notice if you're getting tight in your neck or your shoulders. Good. And now let's leave it down there, and then exhale, slowly bring the hand down. And you could bring it to a block or the floor, rolling the upper arm bone back. And inhale, you could reach the arm up, or you could keep it on your hip. And then exhale, you could try to lift the left leg off the floor if you want. And just try to stabilize here. So if this movement right here is difficult, you can always put it back down on the floor, right? Just play around with it. Good. Now finding your core, right? And on an exhale, try to push off that bottom hand and land with the left knee bent, and maybe sit over onto the heel. Then you could inhale, spread the arms and fly back. Good. And just repeat, going at your own pace, doing any part of this. Sometimes it's easier to do it moving, right? To kind of fly into that leg lifted position than it is to hold it there. I'm getting a hip cramp over there, Celia. And a knee cramp right around there. Yeah, just too much weight. You might just want to hold, Celia. That might be too much bending for your knee. Yeah. Yeah, just like hold this one position. Good. And then when you're ready, you guys slowly back to this position we started in. So here, and then letting the leg lower. And just pause there, inhaling. Good, and as you exhale, we'll start to face the floor again with your torso and arms, and then shifting the hips, bringing the knee in. And then going back to your downward facing dog. So you're facing the center of the room again, you guys in here. Of course, you can always go to child's pose and just breathe wherever you've chosen to be. Feeling a wide inhale and a long exhale. Good. So let's take 2 more breaths there. And in 1 more breath there. And now could you, on an exhale, slowly shift forward to plank pose? You can always drop your knees down to the floor. Now, can you tuck your tail and engage your glutes in plank? So don't let your hips be lower. In fact, think of your hips as high as your shoulders, but your chest forward. Yeah, that's it, Joellen. You can always drop to knees, right? So if your hips are flexed, then they're too high. Good. And now come down to knees, take a break. Watch me for just a second, okay? So there's a difference between hips high, right? You're gonna engage your core rather than here, okay? And this, you see the difference? So this is way easier, of course, but if you find that you have to do this, drop to knees and be here, okay? Let's try it one more time. Okay, so just coming into plank pose. Protract the shoulder blades so they're wide. Yeah, they're wide, lift up. Good. And then breathe, right? And this might be just challenging enough, or you might be able to exhale, bring a knee in, inhale, step it back. Exhale, bring the other knee in, inhale, step it back. Good, and then exhale, drop to knees and lower yourself all the way down. Inhale, Sphinx pose. Good. Bringing your elbows forward, pressing your pubic bone down. Good. Exhale, stay there, engaging your glutes and your lower belly. Inhale, spreading across your collarbones. Good, and then exhale, letting the elbows widen, lowering the forehead. Inhale, place your hands wide for a push-up. Roll your shoulders onto your back, the shoulder blades, and exhale, engage your glutes, draw your ribs in, and try to press up to plank pose. To knees is fine. Good, and then back to downward dog. Letting your neck go, you might just turn your head side to side a little bit, following your breath in and following your breath out. And sending or spreading your fingers forward and sending your hips up and back. And now let's slowly walk hands and feet toward one another. You could take your blanket out of the way on your way. Then inhale, reaching your spine forward. Exhale, sitting back like you're sitting in a chair. And then inhale, standing up, reaching way up. And then exhale, arms out to the sides and down. Good. And then just standing for a moment, noticing how you feel in standing pose. Following your breath in and out, finding your ujjayi breath if you want to use that. Good. And then standing tall, letting your shoulders relax. And as you inhale, can you inhale and just reach your arms up? And then a longer exhale using your ujjayi breath out to the sides and down. Good, one more like that. Just letting your breath lead the way, leading you through the movement. Good. And next time your arms come down, find yourself a focal point. Inhale, stand tall, and exhale, shifting your weight to your left foot, bringing your right foot into tree. So it could stay low, even on the floor, or it could come up high. Good. Inhale, exhale, and then inhale. If you can take your arms up and overhead, go for it. And exhale, just a little lean to the right. And then inhale back up to center. And exhale, a little lean to the left. And inhale back up to center, releasing your jaw. Exhale, turning the knee forward as you come down. Good. All right, let's do the other side, getting your focal point. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, left leg comes into tree. And you can always come in and out, just getting yourself stable for a moment, and then you can reach arms up whenever you want and go as high as you can with your arms. So you're really stretching upward. And then if you're able to lean any amount, it might even just be with your mind, a little lean to the left on the exhale. And then back to center. And then exhale, a little lean to the right. And inhale back to center. Good. And then exhale, coming down. Maybe you can turn the knee forward as you come down. Good. And shake it out a little bit, step side to side, coming up to the front of your mat. You can have your blocks handy there. And actually, you might want your blanket handy too. You can just have it at the side. Okay. And inhale, reaching arms up when you get there. And exhale, hinging at your hips, folding, taking your weight toward the balls of your feet. And then inhale, keeping the weight a little bit forward, bringing your spine forward. Good. And exhale, bending the knees, placing your hands down on the floor. Let's step the knees down first. So this is where you might want a little padding. So a knees down plank. So we're going to tuck the tail under. You'll see I'm still not letting my hips sag like this, right? And they're not low. They're a little high so that I can tuck my tail and really get my core engaged. And then feel as though you're moving your armpits back. Yeah, and then lift up through that low back again. So tuck the tail under, right? So instead of butt up, like this, no, Celia, look at me for a second. So instead of this, yeah. And then don't let it come low, you guys. So all you guys are a little low with your bellies. Lift your belly. So instead of being here, boom, you'll get more out of it rather than here. Okay, and protract those shoulder blades. Keep breathing, right? And this might be enough work. You might not have to lift the knees, right? But for here, let's lift the feet. And can you start to swivel just the lower half of your body? Yeah, keeping your core engaged as you do that. Good. Okay, coming back to the center. Let's just stretch the arms forward for a moment. So keep the hips where they are. So puppy dog pose. Let your head come down between your arms if you can. Inhale, feel the width of your breath. Exhale. Good. And then we're going to rise up again, and you can try either that same plank or the swiveling plank, or you can lift your knees off the floor, okay, and try another version, okay? So first, if you're whatever position you've chosen, can everybody protract your shoulder blades? So widen them. And then tuck your tail. Good. And really feel like you're sliding your armpits back towards your waist. Good. And now you could, if you're doing knees up, you could try to swivel just on the feet. So you go to one inner foot, one outer foot, with trying to keep everything else stable, right? So keeping those protracted shoulder blades. Good. Try not to clench with your neck or your jaw, right? If you feel like you're having to do all the work with your neck and jaw, you probably want to lower your knees instead and do the one we did earlier, okay? And then when you're ready for a break, you can come into puppy dog again, or you can come into downward dog, whichever one. Just let your neck go, let your jaw go. Feel yourself pressing down if you're in down dog in the space between your thumb and first finger. And if you're in puppy dog, just getting length through your torso. Butt is high in puppy dog pose. Good. And 2 more breaths wherever you are. And then slowly you could either, if you're in down dog, you could bend your knees and hop or step up to the front. Either way, we'll meet in a forward fold at the front. Okay. And moving your blanket out of the way, taking your hands above your knees and inhale, extend your spine forward. Exhale, bend the knees, sitting back towards your heels. And inhale, rise up. And exhale, arms out to the sides and down. Good. All right, going again. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, hinge and fold, taking your weight toward the balls of your feet on the way down. Inhale, extending your spine forward, getting long. And exhale, bending the knees, taking your hands to the floor and stepping back to plank. So you could be on knees, right? You have that option. Okay. And what we're going to try to do here is get into your protracted shoulder blades. Move your shoulder blades away from your ears. Lift your belly. Tuck your tail. Good. Nice. Now remember, there's a difference between rounding your upper back and protracting your shoulder blades, right? Good. Take a break. Just bringing your knees down. Yeah. So there's this, you guys just check out a couple of common things. So there's this, right? That's rounding my upper back. This is protracting my shoulder blades. This would be not protracting my shoulder blades, right? Boom, okay. And then the other thing I'm seeing is a little bit of this still, right? If you're doing this, you're not using your core at all, right? So, yeah. So you can always be here. You can always be here. This is fine. All right, let's go. Plank again. Keep breathing. Let your jaw relax. Now, could you just, if you've got knees up, could you bring your right knee down and tap it? And then bring it back up. So exhale, just tap it. I put my blanket there. I didn't tell you guys that, but I put my blanket there. And then bring it back. Good. Good. Yes. The way forward is the way we're going to be tabletop. That's how far forward it's tapping. Good. And still maintaining core. Take a break. Nice. All right. Maybe sit for a moment and roll your wrists around. You can sit however you want. Yeah. All right. Now, from there, we'll come back to our plank, and I'm going to show you for a moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to inhale, get solid. Exhale, tap my knee, and I'm going to turn, inhaling to gate pose. And I'm going to exhale back down, plank. Inhale, exhale, tap my knee, start to turn. Inhale, gate pose. Exhale, turn back down, come to plank. Now you could do this whole thing from here on your knees, right? So you could be in knees and just practice turning, right? Okay, that'd be fine too. All right, so let's go for it. Here, inhale, plank. Exhale, tap right knee down, let it come all the way down. Start to turn toward your left, bringing your left arm along your ear, inhale. Exhale, slowly come back to plank, arm down with control. Inhale, stabilize. Exhale, left knee down. Slowly start to turn towards your right. Let the arm come overhead, inhale. Good, exhale, plank. Taking your time. If you need more than one breath, you just take more than one breath. Inhale, stabilize. Exhale, right leg down, start to turn. Inhale, gate pose, left arm along the ear. Exhale, long exhale, back to plank, moving with control. Good. Inhale, stabilize. Exhale, left knee comes down, slowly start to turn. Inhale, right arm along the ear. Exhale, plank. Good. Take a break, down dog or puppy dog pose. Or sit and stretch your wrists. Remember, you could always do a variation on your forearms here, right? So if your wrists are not strong enough to do all this right now, you could be doing it on your forearms. I'm going to show that real quick. Okay, so on your forearms, be here, right? Knee down. I'd have to lift my butt a little bit, but I can turn. I'm going to need to adjust, right? We're here. Might be easier to come here, actually. You just have to make some adjustments for your wrists without tweaking everything around, right? If you don't want to do it on your hands. All right, you guys, another variation, plank pose when you're ready. Starting out the same, okay? You can always be on forearms. Inhale. Exhale, right knee down. Inhale, start to turn. So same way we started last time. Bring the arm along your ear, okay? And then exhale, can you stand up on that knee? So come to center. Good. Inhale, left hand goes to left leg. Right arm comes toward the ceiling, stretch up. Good. Exhale, rise to center. Just place your hands behind your head. Yes. Exhale, can you keep your core centered and just dip a little bit to the right? So your right elbow starts to come down. And then inhale back up. And exhale, dip a little bit to the left. Okay, we're going to repeat just that. I'm going to go show these guys. Exactly. So if the hip doesn't feel good in where it is, Joellen, you could always bend the knee too. So you guys, this is an option. Right? It might feel more stable. Just make sure you don't feel like you're tweaking your hip when you do it. And you guys at home, I was just saying you could always do this, the left knee bent. Good. Okay, next time you rise up through the center and inhale there and exhale, gonna bring your right hand down to the floor. Inhale, stretch left arm along ear. Good. And exhale, back to plank. Good. So you're back in your plank pose. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, left knee comes down. Start to turn towards your right. Inhale, stretch right arm along ear toward the center of the room. Good. Now exhale, you're going to start to come up, standing on that left knee. And inhale, right hand comes to right leg. Inhale, stretch left arm up. Good. Good. Exhale, stay there. Inhale, rise up to center. Hands behind head. Good. So this is where you could take that right leg, you guys, and Joellen, you might want to do that just for your hip to be okay. Okay, don't overdo it. If you got a lot of arthritis in your hip, you guys, bent knee might be better. And we're going to exhale, dipping side to side. Right, trying to maintain center in your core, and it might just be a little movement, or it might be a big movement as you dip side to side. I want you to tweak this thing. Okay, let's bring this in like this much. Yeah. Trying. Yeah, I don't want you, even right heel here might feel better. Yes. Yes. And then see about rising. Is that okay? Yeah. Sure. Me. Oh, your toes. Yeah. Yeah, keep breathing. And then when you come up to center the next time, you guys, what you can do is bring that left hand down to the floor. Here, there's this too. Yeah, and stretch that right arm along your ear. Good. Inhaling there. Good. And then as you exhale, we're coming back to our plank. So you slowly start to turn toward the floor. And inhale, come up to your plank. Exhale, child's pose, down dog, or puppy dog pose. And stretching it back and breathing. Really letting your neck relax. And following your breath in and following your breath out. And let's do that again, breathing in and breathing out. Now let's slowly walk your feet forward towards your hands. And then inhale, hands above knees, extending your spine forward. Good. Exhale, bending the knees, sitting back towards your heels. And inhale, stand. Exhale, arms out to the sides and down. Good. And just pausing there for a moment. Good. Going to interlace our fingers. Okay. And just interlace them so that your palms face your body. Yes. And they'll come out in front, not as high as your shoulders. Okay. And then you're going to turn it so the right wrist pulls forward. It's like the right fingers are pulling the other fingers forward. That's right. So you've got like a zigzag like this. Okay. Yeah, that's right. So one wrist is in flexion and the other is extension. You see like my left wrist is bent at that angle, if you can, right? Good. Now pull the other wrist forward. So you just go through the center and now pull the left wrist forward. Good. And breathe. And you can send that right elbow forward if you want more extension. Good. Inhale. Good. Now exhale, and we're going to relax the shoulders. Now the palms are going to go toward the floor. Okay, it's like the same thing. So now the right wrist bends up, the right elbow's out to the side, and a little zigzag here. Good. Breathe. You're pulling, so you're getting a stretch through the fingers too. Okay, keep breathing. And now just switch. So the left wrist up. I'm pulling up with those fingers. Relaxing through your shoulders though, right? Jaw. Nice. Good. And now from here, relaxing and then taking the palms to face out. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull my right wrist toward my chest first. Relax around your neck and shoulders. Yeah, this one's funky, huh? It's also a spatial awareness thing. Yeah. And then from here, this one gives me the best stretch right here. And then the other way. All right. So now the left wrist pulls in. Good. And then release that. And just like you're playing a big piano, whoops, just shuffle or your fingers, articulate your fingers up and down the keys, back and forth, roll around your wrists a little bit. Nice. You can shake them out. Okay, now I just want you to be aware of your blanket. I like to keep mine there because I like to pad my knees whenever I can, right? In this particular sequence, I don't even think we need to pad our knees. So I'm going to throw mine. Okay. So what we're going to do is stand up towards the front. And inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, extending your spine forward. And exhale, bend the knees. Yes, we're going back to plank pose. There's a theme here. No, you can be on knees, right? So if you're losing the integrity of your plank, drop your knees, right? Protract your shoulder blades, inhale. Now exhale, let's everybody drop the left knee first, just to test this out. We're going to side plank. Okay, so we're going over here. So some people can actually be here, right? With both legs straight out to the right. That makes sense? Like this. So if you want to switch to that, go for it. Okay. Now, wherever you are. I think you can do this with the bottom knee bent. And then I'm going to lift my top knee, bend it toward my belly. Yeah. And I'm going to turn and step to a lunge, right leg forward. Yeah. So you can do that with the bottom knee on the floor. Good. Now inhale here. Exhale. Could you start to let go with your hands? So we're hovering. That's it. Back knee comes up if it's not already. Inhale. I'm going to exhale, slowly turn to warrior two. So I'm turning to the left. That's it, you guys. Nice. And inhale, stargazer, reverse warrior, reaching the right arm up toward the ceiling. Really nice. Yes. Right knee is bent. There you go. That'll work better. Yeah, it's okay. Inhale. Are you guys breathing? Good. And exhale. Now, on your next exhale, slowly release the stargazer. So just bring that down. Start to walk or wiggle heel toe, your right foot closer to your left. And can you come into tree pose? Bringing your right leg into tree. Right leg goes up. Yes. That's it. Yeah, if you're close to a wall, you can use it. Good. Inhale there, just hands in front of your chest. Good. We're going to exhale and try to hop to face the center of the room again. Yep. Good. Yes. And now if you've got the wall behind you, you're going to need to scoot forward. So you got the wall behind you, scoot forward. Okay. Now your inhale tree. Good. Exhale tree, relax your face. Just make sure you got space behind you, you guys, space behind you. Okay. Your leg's going back there, so you need space. Okay. Inhale. Exhale, right knee starts to face forward. And can you take it back behind you? Warrior three. Inhale, try to square the hips toward the floor. Exhale. Good, you guys. Inhale, you could always have the toes on the floor, right? Good, exhale, can you start to bend the left knee? Now, some of you aren't gonna be able to bend it very far, just the knee pain. It's only what you can do. Inhale, keep bending, keep bending. Keep bending right, as far as you can here. And then take your hands to the floor. Swing your right leg up a little bit and exhale, bring it through to a lunge. Walk left leg back. Look at you guys. This is awesome. Twist open to the right. To the right. Yeah, your chest facing the right, left arm down. Good. Inhale here. Exhale here. Good. Inhale here. Could you come back to your side plank from here? Aha. So if you're doing the legs up, what I would do is start to wiggle my right leg around and then step it all the way back, or you could keep it in front. If you're doing your bottom knee down, I would place that knee down and then take the leg back. Good. Keep breathing. Rolling the bottom hip away from the floor. Good. One more breath. Exhale. Can you slowly come to plank? Inhale. Now, some of you might like a vinyasa here, and others might like a child's pose. Okay, so do what's best for your body, or you might like downward dog. Recovering your breath, noticing if you were holding your breath. Good, and wherever you are, just start to make your exhales a little bit longer, letting your neck relax. Whenever you get to a position, you're going to hold. Good. So moving in all these different ways, right? Moving all around our mat, all sides of our bodies. And when we move in new ways, it just uses different, it creates different brain and neural pathways, right? And as we start to do that, we can also start to up the idea of thinking new ways as well, right? It creates all these new cognitive possibilities because, of course, your movement is all connected to your brain as well as your thinking. So it might make things uncomfortable, make things exciting, or it might make things exploratory. Can you allow yourself to be curious about how you respond to new positions? Add one more breath wherever you've chosen. And then we're coming back to our plank pose. Okay, remember, you can be on knees. You can be on forearms. You just have to adapt it for forearms. Okay. And then inhale, find the protracted shoulder blades, lift the belly. Good. And then as you exhale, turn to side plank. This time you're coming onto the right arm. So the right knee could come down like this, right? Or the left leg could be in front of the right, or even heels stacked. Good. Rolling that upper arm bone back and that bottom arm. And then from here, can you exhale, try to bend the left knee and bring it toward your belly. Yeah. And then maybe turn to your lunge. So you place that left foot down at the front of your mat in a lunge. Okay. Bring your left arm down. Inhale. Exhale to start to hover. So you start to rise up. Good. You guys inhale. And exhale, start to turn towards your right in your warrior two. That's it. Relax through your shoulders. Good. Inhale, stargazer, lifting left arm up, letting neck relax. Nice, everybody. Feeling the stability of your legs. Exhale, stay there. Good. Inhale, let your jaw soften. Exhale. Inhale. And as you exhale, just releasing the stargazer arm and start to heel toe the left foot closer to the right. So you just, or you could do it in one hop, right? Gonna step into tree pose. Yeah. Bringing the left leg up to tree. Good. And then just trying to get a moment of stability there, if you can, or even if it's just internal stability, inhaling. And then could you hop to face the center of the room again? So you exhale, hop, okay? Let your knee bend, good. You might fall out of it. And then for those of us in the studio, you might need to scoot yourself away from the wall so you can just, good, okay, yeah. And then inhale there. And then exhale, start to turn your knee forward, warrior three pose. And just take your time. Remember, you can always put this toe down behind you. So you start to lose your hips or your balance, put that toe down. Keep breathing. Are you breathing? Use your Ujjayi breath. And then exhale, slowly start to bend the right knee. Go really slow here until you can place your hands easily on the floor, walking the hands forward a little bit, lifting left leg up. Exhale, bring left leg through to a lunge, twisting lunge. So right arm's going to be down. You can use a block or the floor, probably the floor because we're going to side plank in a moment, and twist open to the left. Keep breathing. Good, you guys. Really nice. Let's see. Joellen, I think it'll be better if you bring this leg forward and that leg back. It'll be easier to. There you go. Yeah, a little easier. You're right. You can always straighten it. Yeah, if your knees hurt, you can do a straight leg position, right? Keep breathing. Okay. And now from here, could you slowly come back to your side plank variation? So you could always put that right knee down, right? Just bend it to the floor and set yourself up, walk the left leg back. Or you could shift and to come up to the pinky toe edge of the right leg, walk the left leg around, or even bring it back to the full side plank. Okay, keep breathing. Good, you guys. Nice, one more breath there. And then exhale, coming toward plank pose. Inhale and exhale, your choice. You can move through a vinyasa, slowly coming down. You can do a vinyasa very slowly too, hanging out in Sphinx or Cobra for a bit. Good. And then meeting up in any resting pose, down dog, child's pose, or even seated. See if you can find somewhere in your body once you get to that resting position where you can soften, you know, whether it's your neck, your jaw. And let's do 2 more breaths there. Good. Let's do 1 more breath there. Good. And then slowly rising up, since you're all down here. And we're going to come back to our plank position, but on forearms. Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. We can turn the air on. All right. No, we can actually, I'm sure you appreciate that, Julie. Okay, so we're coming up to our forearms, you guys. You could have your fingers interlaced or you can have your hands straight forward. See what you like better, okay? And then you can walk your knees back and be in a forearm plank with knees down, and I'll show it in just a moment. Or you can have your knees off the floor with the same setup as you did when you were on your hands, right? Tucking your tail under. So lifting that belly in and just tuck that tail a little bit. Yes, yes, yes. Tucking that tail a little bit more under. Great, you guys. Are you straining in your neck? Yeah, okay, drop your knees and give your neck a break, right? So just trying to figure that out, right? Oh, didn't go on. Good, take a break. There we go. Okay, and then now let's come into it again. And I'm gonna come into it, I'm gonna show it both ways. I'm gonna show it with knees down and knees up, right? And I'll hold it here, here's knees down, here's knees up, right? So when I have my knees down, my tail is tucked under. I still get a ton out of this with my knees down. And relax your jaw. So come into that again. Protract your shoulder blades. So that means widen them. And come into either variation when you're ready, okay? Tuck that tail, right? So lengthen your tail toward your heels. Yeah, the other way, Penny. Yeah, yep, you're getting closer. Butt down, think butt tucked under. Yes, yes, good. Keep breathing. And then take a break. How you doing? How's your neck? All right, stretch your arms back. You can go to puppy dog pose. Think tail tucked under, everybody. In fact, maybe feel that, you guys, come here, because you're all kind of doing this just a little bit. So just feel it without a lot of weight on you. Okay, so see, I'm just kind of in a tabletop. Tuck up, tail down, tail up, tail down. Okay, you want to have tail down, boom, for this purpose, okay, for what we're doing. Not because you want to engage your core, that's why. Okay, if you have your tail up, your belly's just going down. Okay, so from here, this time, we're going to do our dream of genie. Do you remember our dream of genie ones? So we're going to have our hands on the floor like this, right? So one in front of the other. And again, you can be on knees. So I'll show it on knees. I'm going to protract my shoulder blades. I could pad my knees if I wanted. And an inhale here, exhale. Oops, I've got the thing in my way, but exhale, let my knees go to the side. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can fly away too if you want to. I'm not even doing that, Dana, but you can do that. Yeah. So I'm just going here, like this little rolling motion. That's why the blanket can be helpful. All right. Boom. Yes. Let's make sure your knees don't hurt. See, my tail's tucked under as I do it. And my shoulder is staying stable. Boom. The other version would be to do it off your knees. And this can feel better just if your knees are bothering you too, but it takes more strength. Good. So try a few I dream of genies. Breathing, moving slowly with control. Good. And then when you're ready to, come back to the center, dropping the knees. We're going to press into our hands to come into a forward fold. So just to come onto our feet. You'll be toward the back of your mat. Let your knees bend, interlacing your hands behind your back, and let your neck go. You can inhale, try to reach the arms up toward the ceiling. Rolling the shoulder heads away from the floor. If this doesn't feel good, leaning over, you could also do this standing upright. Okay. Good. A few more breaths there. And stretching the front of the shoulders a little bit. Good. Rolling those shoulder heads away. And then when you're ready, exhale, undoing the fingers and letting the arms hang. If you're standing upright, you could slowly fold again. Inhale, reaching your chest forward. Good. And exhale, you can come through a squat or have a seat in a way that works for you. Okay. Gonna sit cross-legged or legs folded back on blocks. Get any padding you'd like. We're gonna do a little bit of breath work here. So first, you can let your eyes close or just let your eyes settle on one spot. And just let your shoulders relax and notice your breath and your heart rate. Notice the temperature. And then just start to slow down your breath a little bit. Good. Good. And now following your breath in, can you sit up a little bit taller, reaching the top of your head toward the ceiling? And then as you exhale, you can exhale, just a long exhale. Good. And then again, inhaling, sitting up tall. And this time, as you exhale, just exhaling about halfway and pausing. And then exhale all the way, getting every last bit of air out. And then just allow the inhale to come. Fill all the way up. Pause just for a moment at the top. And then again, exhaling about halfway and pausing. And then all the way. I'm going to stop saying it just so you might not be on my rhythm. It's fine. Okay. Important thing here is that you don't pause so long that you strain or cause stress. So you're just pausing the amount that feels right to you, exploring this control of your exhale. When you inhale, can you really feel the width of that inhale? Right? Allowing the ribs, the whole torso could expand three-dimensionally. After your next pausing exhale, just continue to breathe normally. You can use Ujjayi breath or natural breath after that, whatever feels best to you. Noticing if you've been clenching in your jaw or anywhere else to try to do that pranayama, letting that go. Good. And then if you're sitting cross-legged, Let's just straighten out the right leg on an angle here. So your left leg will be folded in. You can always prop it. Okay. Inhale, sit up tall. You could be sitting on a blanket. Good. And exhale. Just going to take your right hand across to your left knee and your left fingertips behind for a twist. Inhale, sitting up tall. Good. And then exhale, just undoing the twist a little bit, but keeping your right hand on the knee. Okay. Now, could you allow your left arm to just come along your left hip and lean towards your right leg? So you're holding on to the knee to keep you there and leaning toward the right. You can let your neck lean too if you want. From there, if you want to, you can either stay like that if you like it, or just let go and put your elbow, your right elbow on your right thigh, and make a loose fist with your hand placing your right temple on the fist. So you're leaning over. You could even take your left arm and kind of plop it on top of your head if you wanted to. Just for a little more weight, stretching that left side. Inhaling and exhaling. Okay. And then inhaling. You can always stay here longer, you guys. If you're ready to come out, just bring the arm down in front of your head and down. And then your right hand is going to lift your head back up. So just exhale, carry your head back up to the center and release. Just pausing here, one hand on each knee, inhaling. And as you exhale, switching your legs to the other side. Left leg extends, inhale, sitting up tall. And exhale, going to bring your left hand across to your right knee, right fingertips to your side or behind you as you twist. Okay. Inhaling, sitting up tall. And exhale. And then inhale again. And exhale, releasing the twist a bit, just keeping the left arm there. And let your right hand come on your side as you just gently lean to the left, toward your left leg. Yeah. If this doesn't work for your body, how you're set up, you can always go right into the elbow down version too. Good. One more breath. And then as you exhale, you could slowly release the knee, bringing your left elbow to your left thigh, loose fist. You could try to place your head on that fist if it feels all right. And either stay here or decide to bring your right arm and just kind of plop it on top of your head for extra weight. Inhaling, breathing into the right side body. And then long exhale. And again. You can let that right arm come down in front of your face, just down, and then use your left hand as you exhale, bringing your torso and head back up. And releasing the arms, and straightening both legs out in front, wiggling the legs a little bit. And we'll come down onto our backs, and we'll go a few minutes over, so if you need to leave, you always can. But as you come down onto your back, if there's any finishing postures that you want to do, like a twist down here, we just twisted, but if you need another, you want legs up, go for it, or happy baby. What I'm going to do as a restorative pose is a low bridge, a low supported bridge with the block. You could choose that, or you could go right to Shavasana. Okay. Wherever you do choose to rest, just moving your shoulder blades down your back. You might windshield wiper the knees on your block if you're choosing supported bridge pose. And then slowly just finding a position that you want to stay in for a few minutes. You can always start in one and then change positions as well. Once you get there, could take a sigh or two, and letting go of your pranayama. Could always cover your eyes or use your props in any way. And practicing letting go of as much effort as you can here. Allowing yourself to be fully supported by the floor below you. Noticing how you feel mentally and emotionally. How your nervous system feels wired right now. What your energy level feels like. And just noticing that you're breathing. And then coming back to this 360-degree awareness is all around your body, to the right and the left, below you and above you. The space at the top of your head, and on the other side of your feet or your shins. And as you breathe, could you feel for a moment that you're breathing with your whole body? And also breathing into the space around you. Whenever you're ready, you could always stay longer, or you could bring movement back or just place hands on your body. And I'll end with the sound of Om. I'm just going to inhale and then I'll Om. Inhaling. Om. All right. Thank you, everybody.